Today on Investigate TV Plus. Constant, sometimes verging on abusive, as Americans fall deeper into debt. We found a surge in the number of calls to collect unpaid debts.
I would say it stresses you out. It almost makes you, kind of want to comply.
I'm T. Chappelle.
And I'm Lee Zurich. Experts say some of those can go too far.
Debt collectors can come after you. They just have to act legally and work within the guardrails.
When does it become illegal?
We answer that question and reveal your rights if you receive a debt collector's call.
Plus, a generation brought up with the internet at their fingertips develops new health challenges.
There's worsening like working memory, attention span, emotional regulation.
We explore real-life strategies to help your family detox from devices.
Then stitched into history.
It means just mainly freedom that we have in this nation.
Meet the flag makers who have kept Old Glory flying for decades.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus.
Americans borrow money to make major life purchases, things like homes, cars, even in education.
In June of 2025, the average American owed about $105,000. As many Americans carry a debt, our investigation found some face relentless phone calls from collection companies demanding they pay up.
Reporter Carice Jackman speaks with one woman who says she was able to dig herself out from under the bills despite the constant calls.
And she shares strategies if you ever find yourself in the same situation.
The calls can be ridiculous. They just call in at all times on the day. They just want the money. They don't care what time they call you, how many times. They try to act like they're your friends or family. Hey, Kiana.
How much money are we talking about? Was it $5,000, $6,000?
I would say I probably was like $40,000 in credit card debt.
Shortly after her divorce in 2020 was the beginning of Kiana Blake's debt downfall.
I was trying to figure out how to navigate what was mine, what was his. We separated and I went from 2 incomes to 1, but just about the same amount of bills. So they just started calling me. So I had so many cards that I had like an Excel spreadsheet. If it's highlighted, it was a credit card that I was trying to work on paying off. But the interest rate, like the lowest one on here is like 22%. 27% interest rate is crazy. Clearly I signed up for it, but definitely crazy. I had track of what my balances was, what my payments was, and when they were due, and it was kind of in order. Because how else would I manage it? It was so many.
Mentally, what does that do to you when you're getting, especially the aggressive ones, the kind of threatening debt collector calls?
I would say it stresses you out. It almost makes you, kind of want to comply. More aggressive ones, you probably tend to pay first because, they're gonna call you.
Blake is not alone. Millions of Americans face mountains of debt, which when unresolved, lead to nonstop calls from debt collectors. And while legitimate debt collectors have the right to call, experts tell us many still blur the line on what's ethical versus harassment. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, or FDCPA, makes it illegal for debt collectors to harass or threaten you when trying to collect on a debt. For example, collectors can't generally do things like threaten violence, use obscene language, or repeatedly call someone with the intent to annoy them. When Blake needed assistance, she turned to Naomi Peden, the senior housing counselor with Money Management International. It helps consumers like Blake to resolve and manage their debt.
Well, it can be very deceitful. The first thing that I always tell people is initially, before you make any arrangements, any agreements with anybody, you ask them to send you validation of the debt in writing. I'm not talking to you. I'm not going to engage in any kind of conversations with you until I can validate.
Debt collection reports from the Federal Trade Commission show that calls are surging, from 219,000 in 2024 to over 278,000. That's around 27%. And 41% of consumers reported receiving calls for debt they did not owe or found the calls were abusive and threatening.
They think that because the person is coming off aggressive, they feel threatened. They feel like I have to make the decision at this moment. And that's just really not the case.
The stress of owing also leaves the door open for bad actors to swoop in, taking advantage of debt and the anxiety surrounding it. InvestigateTV combed through 15,000 consumer complaints made to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, dating back 10 years, about frequent debt collection calls. We found most of the complaints surrounded credit cards, medical debt, auto, and payday loans. One person wrote in part, "They call from an unknown number and then a normal number and then a blocked number again to make it seem like it's not them." Another stated, "Over the span of 2 weeks, I received 26 calls to my cell phone from a debt collection company. I do believe it is considered harassment. I would like the calls to stop and to pursue legal repercussion in regards to this harassing behavior."
I think under CFPB rules, more than 7 in a week is considered excessive.
Danny Karen is a consumer attorney, law professor, and author. He's had his own battle fighting with debt collectors in the courtroom and recently settled a case for $7.5 million dealing with these exact problems.
When does it become illegal?
It's illegal when a debt collector crosses the line, when they do certain things that the FDCPA says they can't do. They call earlier than they should, they call after they should. They threaten, they lie, they say the debt is worth more than it is. They say they're going to sue you. Certain ugly things that border on harassment or are harassment are things that often trigger the FDCPA and can trigger a federal case.
After nearly 3 decades in the industry, Karen says what consumers need to know the most is that they have rights.
Debt collectors can come after you. They just have to act legally and work within the guardrails. There's no problem with a debt collector pursuing a debt, and if you have a debt, you ought to pay it. Or if you can't pay it, work out a payment plan. But it's when the debt collector crosses the line, or I shouldn't say debt collector, the third party on behalf of the debt collector crosses the line, is when you get into FDCPA issues.
So how are things right now, Kiana? Are things looking up? How are they right now?
I would say things are definitely looking up, from about 40,000 to probably like 13,000. So I should have that paid off in the next year or so.
That's a tremendous difference.
I mean, my credit is higher than it's ever been. It's over 700, which is a blessing.
She's ditched the spreadsheet and now has words of inspiration sprayed throughout her home, reminding her that just because you're in a financial hole doesn't mean you can't climb out of it.
And have the calls stopped?
Absolutely, because I'm not behind on anything. My credit score is over 700, so it's like no reason to call me.
If you're having issues with a debt collector, you can also file a complaint with your state's attorney general. As for how you can get on top of your debt, Experian recommends you add it all up, calculate your total minimum monthly payment, and create a budget to pay at least the minimum, but ideally extra, to get out of debt faster.
Still ahead, these teens are flipping out over an emerging sport.
It's kind of just people realizing, oh, I can go and do that. There's nothing stopping me.
We introduce you to a competition where kids climb toward confidence.
But first, social media pressure can take its toll on our physical and mental health.
It affects how they feel about themselves because we all know we put the best version of ourselves online.
We show you how one mom helps her kids disconnect in order to reconnect as a family. If you feel like your kids are glued to their phones or gaming controllers, you are not alone.
Between July of 2021 and December of 2023, about half of teens ages 12 to 17 had 4 hours or more of daily screen time.
According to the CDC, being chronically online is linked with adverse health outcomes, including poor sleep, fatigue, anxiety, and depression. Experts say one of the most effective ways to help kids manage internet use is for parents to model healthy habits.
A mom in Texas says she found a way to take a break from technology that works for her whole family.
Reporter Justin Early shares her solution to navigating parenthood in a digital age.
Tabitha Kurth and her daughters feel right at home outdoors, exploring the beautiful land around their home in Valley Mills.
We have a river in our backyard, so we'll go walk that and find arrowheads and catch things.
But 12-year-old Penny and 15-year-old Lucy also stay connected with friends just like other tweens and teens do.
Like, I legitimately don't think people could function.
But as a digital marketer and online investigator, Tabitha knows how too much time spent online, especially social media, can impact kids and adults. That can mean inducing anxiety or damaging self-esteem.
So it affects how they feel about themselves because we all know we put the best version of ourselves online. And they're only seeing the good parts. They're not seeing the hard struggles or how they got to be viral millionaires.
Dr. Kyle Hodges is a child and adolescent psychiatrist with Baylor Scott & White. He says too much screen time from phones, tablets, TV, computers, and video games can create unhealthy behaviors no matter the age.
I've seen kids on iPads age 2, they can figure out how to play a game. I even have first graders, second graders start having cell phones. Basically, they won't separate from the device. They want the device all the time. There's always a constant fight about it.
And too much digital interaction can impact the way the brain works.
There's worsening like working memory, attention span, emotional regulation.
And there can also be issues with mental health and socialization. That's why he says boundaries are so important. Dr. Hodges says parents should keep an eye out for the signs that it's time to do something about their child's phone use and screen time.
Their dependency, they won't do other things. Like, it affects their relationships, it affects their performance in school. It starts to affect like areas in their life. So it causes some kind of disturbance.
Dr. Hodges says sometimes professional help is necessary, but many times parents can regulate things before they get to that point. Hodges says to help your child cut down on digital devices successfully, consider reducing time instead of going cold turkey. Have replacement activities and lead by example. That's exactly what Tabitha does.
I do it too. Like, I don't just make the, so when we all put our phones down, we all put our phones down.
Once a month, she likes for herself and her daughters to separate from their devices for a weekend. They recently went on a trip to a cabin to an area with no cell service and connected with nature.
You can walk out on the porch every morning and there'll be deer and chipmunks and everything. Like, I have a picture of me feeding deers. It's so cool. Like, I was petting them. I felt like Snow White. Like that.
Great. The animals up close.
Especially when you take the time to leave town to connect. And that's when we have those real conversations and I find out what's going on at school and what they're worried about, what they're nervous about, and what they're happy about, what they want to do.
Tabitha says back at home, they have what she calls mini digital blackouts, where the entire family sets technology aside for a few hours. The kids are encouraged to learn new skills or enjoy their favorite hobbies.
I mostly draw like people or just random stuff. Most of my drawings are doodles.
I don't think anybody gets upset about that time. Nobody looks back at it and is like, oh, I wish I would have been on my phone all weekend. So it's never a regret.
I could use a little bit of that in my house.
A little bit of hobbies.
More hobbies, less screen time.
We set a time limit, so if she's on her phone and she has to get permission, and actually I'm the only one who has the passcode to give her more time.
Really?
Yes. So occasionally I'm feeling nice, but
I shouldn't keep the passcode.
you should.
I'll leave that
you
to
would
my
never
husband.
get nothing, right?
Yeah.
Yes. The American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry offers screen time recommendations broken down by age group. We posted a link to that guideline on InvestigateTV.com. Just search digital detox.
Still ahead, no phones in this arena, just flips.
There's point A and point B. You start at point A and you're trying to go to point B in the most creating efficient manner.
We take you to the world of parkour.
Plus, a timeless symbol of what it means to be American.
It's a flag. It means a lot of different things to a lot of people.
We explore the history behind the stars and stripes we know today and show you the sewing rooms dedicated to stitching the fabrics of freedom.
It's a sport that requires speed, agility, and a lot of guts.
The word parkour comes from the French term parcours, which means the way through or the path. While there's no official estimate of the number of people who partake, one organization, USA Parkour, says there are about 3,000 certified instructors worldwide.
Two teens in Arizona say they started the sport for fun and stuck around for the friends.
Reporter Nick King breaks down parkour.
The definition of parkour is broad.
There's point A and point B. You start at point A and you're trying to go to point B in the most creating efficient manner.
Misconceptions about a sport that can be both indoor and outdoor are common.
You're not always jumping off a skyscraper.
Yeah.
And they think it's like less cool because like, oh, she just did a flip from that box to that. But like, if someone who'd never done parkour gets up there, like, that's actually really scary. When I say parkour, everyone thinks of the scene from The Office. Yeah. Like, oh, you jumped into a cardboard box? No, I don't jump into cardboard boxes.
Parkour competitions feature 3 disciplines: skill, speed, and style. 14-year-olds June Porter and Jade Palomo specialize in style, finishing first and third at the 2025 U.S. National Championships in the women's division.
Let's go! I was very, very nervous. Like, people think like, oh my gosh, she's so good. She's probably not even nervous, but like, oh no, I felt like I was gonna cry up the whole time. Yeah, I was so nauseous, like so nervous. But when I did decently well, other people were like, you did so good. But like, I'm just like, I did okay. I could do better.
The girls say they're both hard on themselves, so it helps to push each other and be there for each other, especially being surrounded by mostly boys.
It's kind of just people realizing, oh, I can go and do that. There's nothing stopping me. So it's just like being willing to be the only one there for a little bit, to invite more people, to get to a place where it's like we're welcoming for everyone. And then you find people like me and Jade and you become best friends and it's really fun. Yeah.
Whatever you thought parkour was, fun might be the simplest definition.
Parkour isn't the only way you can reach new heights while exercising.
A 2024 study found hundreds of people participate in bouldering, a form of free climbing without the use of ropes or harnesses. In July 2025, Patrick Daly won USA Climbing's U20 Bouldering Championship in Portland, Oregon.
The Vermont native says he got a start at a young age at the Green Mountain Indoor Rock Climbing Center in Rutland.
I was brought up by a few different coaches here, and they kind of built the foundation for what I see climbing as, and how I approach the sport and how I approach training.
It's a lot of failure. It's a lot of persistence.
Steve Lulek was one of those coaches. He says seeing Patrick compete gives him hope that the sport can grow.
To see somebody take that and run with it and accomplish something like this is pretty emotional. I get overwhelmed if I start to think about it.
Still ahead, a symbol of freedom proudly made in the USA.
We still have a lot of loyal customers that will come in here and buy U.S. flags.
We take you behind the scenes of some of the oldest operating flag manufacturers in the country.
It's quite literally the fabric of our nation. Since its debut in 1777, there have been 27 different versions of the American flag and even more variations, starting with 13 stars and 13 stripes to represent the American colonies.
While today's American flag is one of the most recognized symbols on Earth, many may not know it was designed by a teenager.
It's amazing what young people come up with.
Right? So creative. I didn't know that, by the way. I just learned
didn't
that.
either.
According to congressional records, in 1958, Robert Heft, a 17-year-old from Lancaster, Ohio, submitted the design in a contest facilitated by then-President Dwight Eisenhower. While he received a B- for the project, Eisenhower chose Heft's design out of more than 1,500 submissions.
Two flag companies boast decades of producing the Stars and Stripes.
Reporter Dedrick Russell takes us on a tour of the operations helping Old Glory to fly high.
The manufacturer,
We can't make enough.
the buyer,
It's a great product.
and the consumer.
We go out and we purchase about 5,000 flags.
The American flag is the thread that connects these three. Mark Lane is the Director of Operations at Annan Flag Makers in South Boston, Virginia. It is the largest and oldest flag-making company in the country. It's been around for about 175 years. The flag that went to the moon, covered Abraham Lincoln's casket, and was raised on 9/11 at the World Trade Center, all came from here at Annan. Lane says seeing the flag and thinking about what it means never gets old to him.
To me, one of the blessed parts of being an American is we can agree, we can disagree, that's okay. You know, and that flag symbolizes that. I may use that flag to celebrate, you may use that flag to protest. That's okay. You know, that's America.
Flags made here make their way to Charlotte at Condor Flag Company. Barry Austin is the general manager. His grandfather started this local business back in the 1940s.
It's a great product. I mean, I don't even want to, it's not even fair to call it a product sometimes because it's a flag, you know, and it means so many, it means a lot of different things to a lot of people.
What does the American flag mean to you?
It means just mainly freedom that we have in this nation.
As times have changed, so has the way people purchase Old Glory.
Over the years, our U.S. sales have gone down, which with the rise of the internet and everything, but we still have a lot of loyal customers that are coming here and buy U.S. flags.
One loyal customer,
I'm patriotic as all get out, right?
Is Mark Turner. For more than 17 years, on Memorial Day, Turner purchases thousands of flags from Condor so local scouts can place flags at the graves of servicemen and women.
They have to be taught what it means to be proud of their country. They have to be taught what it means to be a great citizen.
We move into the 250th anniversary of our country, that we have an even stronger desire, to fly our flag.
As America's birthday approaches, this flag will be sewed to commemorate that special day.
And that's it for us on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Lee Zurich.
And I'm T. Chappelle. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus, vacant eyesores in urban neighborhoods transformed into vibrant, edible green spaces.
Is it a movement? Are we seeing more cities experiment with this?
Absolutely. Yes, I think so, and I don't think it's going away anytime soon.
We take an in-depth look at the surge in food forests and show you how they provide shade and sustenance to communities.